the geometry unit 4 review. Your test is tomorrow. The review is due when? Tomorrow. And the review is a quiz grade. This is not optional. It's not, hey, do it if you want to. It is a double daily grade. Do y'all know what talking versus not talking is? The difference? Mouth's closed. Thank you.
There we go.
All right. So in number 1 says to find x and the length of RT. Okay, this is a great one to start with because it's going to let me point out the shortcut in Desmos that I showed y'all, and I think some of you weren't listening. Okay, so first of all, what type of triangle is shown here based on the markings? Isosceles. If there are 2 congruent sides and 2 congruent angles, we have isosceles.
Wait.
So those tick marks mean they're congruent, right? That's how we know it's isosceles. And congruent just means equal measure. So since RS is labeled as 7x plus 10 and RT is labeled as 3x plus 30, and they both have a tick mark, I can write them equal to each other. So 7x plus 10 equals 3x plus 30. That's what the tick marks mean, equal. So here's the shortcut that I want to show you. In Desmos, let me find a window with Desmos. Okay. Oh, I've already got it typed in. Look at that. Okay, so when you type that equation in, okay, so you have to be able to set it up. That's the geometry, is knowing that those are equal. Okay, so but the algebra, the solving for x, Desmos will do for you. So if you type this in, notice this line appears, and if I hover or click here on this point where it crosses the x-axis, it tells me x. What is x? 5. So I can come back over here to my paper, and I don't have to go through, I don't have to go through solving everything. I can say I'm using Desmos, and Desmos told me x is 5. So there's the first part. Find x. Is that everything they wanted?
No.
No. What do they also want?
RT.
RT is the green one. Okay, so I have to come over here and I have to plug that 5 in and calculate that. And again, I could go back to Desmos and type that in just how I did it, or you can do this in your head. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 30 is 45. So the length of RT is 45. Okay, do y'all understand that once you have an equation, if you type the equation in Desmos, it will show you what x should be? It'll save you some time and some work. All right. Now, number 2 wants us to classify the following triangle by side and angle. Remember, by side, I'm going to list this up here. By side, this is talking about, is it scalene, meaning all the sides are different? Is it isosceles, meaning at least 2 sides are equal? Or is it equilateral, which means all sides are equal? Y'all remember that? Yes. So equilateral, scalene, or isosceles. That is by side. And then they also want us to classify it by angle. Well, by angle, that means, are all 3 angles acute? Is there one obtuse? Or is there one right? Okay, so acute, obtuse, and right is by angle. Scalene, isosceles, equilateral is by side. So to answer this, I need to find this 3rd angle. And because I know 2 of the 3 angles, and the 3 angles have to add to what? 180, I can find that missing angle. I can do 180 minus 47 and see what's left. Or if you prefer to do 47 plus 47 first and then subtract that from 180, that's fine also. Either way, you get 86. So this angle is 86. So what can you tell me about all three of these angles? The three angles, are any of them right angles? No. Are any of them obtuse angles? What does obtuse mean?
Or bigger than 90.
Bigger than 90. None of those are bigger than 90. So they're all acute? Yes. So this is an acute triangle. Acute. Okay. Now the side lengths. What do the tick marks mean?
That they're congruent.
So isn't this one also 4?
Yes.
Okay, so our side lengths are 4, 4, and 3. Okay, so scalene means they're all different. Are they all different? No. 2 of them are the same. So what is that? Isosceles. So it's an acute isosceles triangle. The length of the missing side is 4.
Huh? No.
So far, so good?
I don't know how much longer.
We're only doing the first page. All right, number 3 says list the angles in order from largest to smallest. This is hinge theorem. This is 4.6 if you need to look back at your notes. We said that the largest angle will be across from the longest side. Which of these 3 sides labeled here is the longest? Yeah, TX, 20.2. So what angle is it across from? So angle V is the largest angle. And then we'll do the middle. So which of these side lengths is in the middle? Yeah, BX, and that's across from T. So angle T will be the middle angle. And then the smallest side, or the smallest angle, will be across from the shortest side. The shortest side is VT here, and it's across from angle X. So angle X is the smallest angle.
My brain's about to. I just don't understand how that works.
You don't understand how?
No, wait, no, I get it. My bad. I was looking wrong.
Okay. Now, number 4 is similar, but instead of giving us the side lengths and asking to order the angles, they're giving angles and asking us to order sides. But it's the same concept, except we're missing the third angle. How can I find the third angle to start? Can I do the same thing I did on number 2 when I knew 2 angles and I needed the third? I'm going to take these and I can either add them together, then subtract that from 180, or I can just say 180 minus 44 and minus 47 and see what's left for that third side. And so that's 89. Now, how do these angles compare? And this time, pay attention. It says smallest to largest. The last one was largest to smallest. So it's in reverse now. Okay, so the smallest side will be across from the smallest angle. Which of those angles is smallest? 44 is the smallest, and so it's across from this side. How would you name this side? BC. Okay, and then the middle angle. Which angle's in the middle? Middle size angle. 47, and so that's across from side. Yeah, BA or AB, it doesn't matter which order you put that.
You got it too long.
And then the largest angle is 89. It would be across from AC. So AC or CA, whichever way you want to write that, is going to be the largest or longest side. All right, at number 5, it says triangle TSU is isosceles. Okay, so we know that these 2 sides are congruent based on these markings. So remember, in an isosceles triangle, the 2 sides that are congruent are called the legs. The third side, the one that's not marked congruent, is the base. And the base is what connects the base angles. So F and U are the base angles, meaning those are the congruent angles. Y'all follow?
Yep.
So they tell us that angle S is 3x minus 7, and angle T is, I'm gonna write it out here because it's not gonna fit in there, is 4x minus 6. And angle U is 2x plus 13. So they give us an expression for each of these. Sorry, I'm gonna try and make that a little bit neater. 2x plus 13. Okay. But really, all I need here to be able to find x is the base angles, because I know that the base angles are congruent, don't I?
Yep.
So I can just write those equal to each other. So I can say 3x minus 7 must equal 2x plus 13. Do I need to do this by hand or can I use Desmos?
Desmos.
Yeah, I'm going to go use Desmos and I'm going to type this one in, which is 3x minus 7 equals 2x plus 13. Now, I don't see a line on my graph. What do you think I should do? Just quit and give up?
No.
How about I zoom out? Maybe it's further out. There it is. You see it over here? So
And
what's
also, if it shows like the little red line or blue or whatever, that's when you know there's a line.
Yeah, that's a good tip. So when I was zoomed in here and I didn't see it, but see how this turned red? There wasn't a warning. That means it's graphed somewhere in red. So just zoom out until you see that. Good tip, Eddie. So X is 20. So X is 20. I used Desmos to do that. Okay, now did the question say what's X? No. Go back and read your, when you think you have an answer, you better go back and read that question and make sure it's the right answer. They didn't ask for X. They said, find the measure of one of the base angles. So the measure of a base angle. We said the base angles were S and U. So what can I do with X is 20 now? I'm gonna plug it in for X in these base angles, right?
Oh.
So angle U is 2x, so I'm going to replace x with 20 plus 13. So when I plug that in, and you can type that into Desmos, or you can do it in your head, that's 53. So angle U is 53 degrees. Now, you don't have to plug it into both because they should be the same, but plugging it into both and making sure that they do come out the same is a way to check your work. So if I plug in 3 times 20, that's 60, minus 7, that's 53. Did they come out the same? Yeah, they both came out to 53. That's a good sign. That means that our base angle is 53. Both base angles were 53. If they said, what is the vertex angle? Do you know what that's asking? If these are the base angles, there's only one angle left, isn't there? This angle?
Oh, see.
Yeah, that's the vertex angle. The vertex angle is where those legs meet, where the congruent sides meet. It's called the vertex angle. All right, in number 6, y'all had a question like this on your quiz. You remember that? It was number 10 on the quiz. We have to focus in on one triangle at a time. We have some overlapping triangles here. So I'm going to focus in on A, B, C first. So this one is what I'm focusing on, this red one.
What the heck?
Because they told me that AB equals AC. So what type of triangle is that red triangle?
Congruent.
Two congruent sides means it's isosceles, right?
Yeah. So
we have an isosceles triangle. And in that triangle, they said that angle BAC, okay, BAC, B to A to C would be this angle here. If you trace from B to A to C, that's the angle it makes, right? So that angle is 98. So that's the vertex angle that I was just talking about. It's where the two congruent sides meet, vertex angle. So A is my vertex angle. So if that's my vertex angle, then these are my base angles, aren't they? And they have to be the same as each other, since those legs are the same as each other. So I'm going to take the full triangle as 180, take away the 98 that the vertex angle is, and I'm left with 82. Now that 82 has to be split evenly between these base angles. So what should I do?
Divide.
Divide by
2.
2. Good. So 82 divided by 2 is 41. So I've got angle B is 41 and angle C is 41.
So easy, miss.
All right, now the reason I needed that, because now I want you to focus on a different triangle. Now I want you to look at
BDF or A.
B, D, E.
Alright.
This triangle here, the purple one. Pink, purple, whatever that is to you. In that triangle, they told us that the measure of angle D, that's here, D, is 42. So I'm going to label that. Up here is 42. So in the purple triangle, I know the 42 and I know the 41. So could I get this angle E down here in this purple triangle?
Yeah, minus it.
Yeah, so I'm going to take 180 minus 42 minus 41 and see what's left.
Miss, I'm so smart.
So that's 97. So this is 97 here. Now we're looking for X. How does X relate to this angle 97 that we just found?
Mhm.
Don't those two angles form a line? Here?
No.
How many degrees in a straight line?
180.
180. So this 97 and this X need to come together and equal 180.
Oh, so
Oh,
that X equals,
oh.
83.
So X is 83. Okay, so you have to look at one triangle at a time, and then you had to know linear pair. You had to know about isosceles triangles. You had to know triangle sum is 180, and you had to know linear pair. So there's several things you had to know to be able to answer that question. All right, last two on this page. Number 7 says that in triangle ABC, D and E are midpoints. Okay, so I'm going to mark that. D, or they actually already have it marked. D is a midpoint, so they have these tick marks, right? D is the middle of AC. And then they say E is a midpoint. So now they have 2 tick marks here on AE and EB. So those are both midpoints. When you connect 2 midpoints, you have drawn a mid segment. So DE is a mid segment. Midpoint to midpoint is mid segment. Mid. Okay, connecting 2 midpoints is a mid segment. Now, what we remember, well, we need to remember what we learned, is that mid segments are parallel to the third side. Okay, so the third side down here is CB. So CB is parallel to DE, meaning they run the same direction. They're never going to intersect, right? And the length of the mid segment is half the length of the segment that it's parallel to. So DE is going to be half of CB. So let's label what they told us up here in the problem. They said DE is 6, AB, so that's that whole thing, is 16, and AC, so this whole side, is 12. Now this part B is asking for BC, so this down here. So if the mid segment is half the side, what is 6 half of? 12. 6 is half of 12. Now it says, what is the relationship between DE and BC? So that's what we just said. We said it's half. So we could say that DE is half of BC. Or we could reverse it and we could say BC is double DE. Both of those are true. What else is true is that DE is parallel to CB or BC. So there's like 3 different things you could write there that would be true for those the relationship there. Did I need that 12 and 16 to answer this question? Nope, that was just extra information. Sometimes there's things that you don't have to use. You have to discern what you need and what you don't need. All right, in number 8, all 3 mid-segments are drawn because they tell us X is the midpoint of MN. So I'm going to mark those congruent. And it tells you Y is the midpoint of NO. So I can put congruent markings here and here. And then it tells you Z is the midpoint of MO. So I can put 3 tick marks here and here. Now what we learned is that the mid-segment that is parallel to the third side. So here I'm going to do this in red because it's running parallel to this side, right? So since that entire length is 18, what is each half? 9. And since the mid-segment is half the length, that mid-segment is 9 also, right?
Mhm.
So that's 9. So XZ is 9. Now I'm going to do the blue side. The blue side, MN, is 13. So this is the mid-segment parallel to it. What's half of 13?
6.5.
So that's ZY or YZ. All right, and then last but not least, the purple one, this X to Y is 10. So what's this length all the way from M to O?
20.
Yeah, because this is each half is 10. So the whole is 20.
Too easy.
As long as you know the relationship, it's just either doubling or cutting in half to get those missing segments. Questions
Can I
on the
go
first
to
page?
Party now.
All right, I'm going to stop this recording because I recorded each page in a different class. So now there's 3 recordings for the 3 pages of the review, and they're all going to be posted on Canvas. Okay, so you